The last question from section 2.5, number 15, asks us to write an equation in standard form for the line described. This line goes through the point 6, 9 and is perpendicular to 5x plus y equals 6. To find the equation of any line, you need a point and you need a slope. So for this one, we need to take this equation and solve it for y so we can determine the slope. The line 5x plus y equals 6. We can find the slope by subtracting 5x from both sides of the equation so that we end up with y equals negative 5y plus 6. Now this line, you can figure out the slope of this line is negative 5. If this line has a slope, if the slope of the line is negative 5, then we want to find the perpendicular slope. Perpendicular slope is the opposite reciprocal. So this is negative 5 over 1. The slope that we're going to use is the reciprocal 1 over 5 and the opposite sign. Since this is a negative slope, the perpendicular slope is going to be positive. So to find the equation of the line, we're going to need the point and the slope. We're going to use this perpendicular slope along with this point to come up with the equation of the line. The point slope form of the line is y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. Plug in the given values. Y minus y sub 1 is 9 equals the slope of 1/5 x minus x sub 1, which is 6. Use the distributive property to solve this equation for y. We get y minus 9 equals 1 over 5x minus 6 over 5. 1/5 times negative 6. We're going to add 9 to both sides to get the y by itself. And that will give us y equals 1 over 5x. Now you have a minus 6 over 5 plus 9, negative 6 over 5 plus 9. When you simplify that, you get plus 39 over 5. I'm going to rewrite this over here so that we can make this equation into an equation that's written in standard form. So we have y equals 1 over 5x plus 39 over 5. To write the equation in standard form, we can't have any fractions. So I'm going to multiply both sides of this equation by 5. The left side by 5 and the entire right side of the equation by 5. When you do that 5, you get 5y equals 5 times 1/5 x, it is x. 5 times 39 over 5 is 39. We're going to subtract x from both sides so that we get negative x plus 5y equals 39. And then finally, the last step is to make sure that leading coefficient is positive. So we can divide everything by negative 1, and that will give us a negative x divided by negative 1 is a positive x. A positive 5y divided by negative 1 is minus 5y. And the 39 divided by negative 1 is a negative 39. That's the equation of our line that goes through the point 6, 9 and is perpendicular to 5x plus y equals 6. They already give us the x minus part, so this could be x minus 5y equals negative 39. Check the answer. Fantastic. Now what I'd like to do for this last video is to show you how you can graph these lines on a graphing calculator. So in order to graph a line, it needs to be written in y equals mx plus b form. So we're going to graph, start off with, Okay, so I want to take a minute and show you how you can graph these equations with a graphing calculator. And these are the two answers from the previous problem. Find the equation of a line that's perpendicular. So I'm taking this original equation, which was y equals negative 5y plus 6, and graphing the line that's perpendicular in y equals mx plus b form. And we're going to sketch both of those on the graphing calculator. To graph a line, you're going to turn the calculator on and press the y equals. Okay, you want to clear anything that's already in there. And you do want to make sure the plot 1, plot 2, or plot 3 are all not shaded, and that you have these are all y equals, and they should all be clear. If for some reason you don't see the y1, y2, y3, quickly go to the mode button, and you want to make sure everything on the left is shaded. If it's not shaded, if one of the values on the right is shaded, use the arrows to go to where you want it shaded and press enter. So going back, I'm going to press the y equals. I'm going to type in the first equation, negative 5x plus 6. Use the little negative button on the bottom, 5, and then this button here gives you the variable x plus 6. And then for the second equation, I can also graph that by using the arrow down. And then I'm going to graph this as fractions. So I'm going to use parentheses here. I'm going to do parentheses 1 divided by 5, close the parentheses, and then the x button, plus, I'm going to use parentheses here, 39 divided by 5, close the parentheses. Now I have both equations written on the screen, and I'm going to go to the standard zoom first. Click on zoom, and I always start off with a standard zoom number 6. Now these two lines should be perpendicular, but it's not going to appear that way because of a standard window is sketched from negative 10 to positive 10 in both ways, but it's wider. It's like when you're watching a movie that's not widescreen and you put it on widescreen, it ends up stretching it out. It distorts it. So these two lines should be perpendicular, but it doesn't appear that they're perpendicular. So you can fix that by pressing the zoom button again, and then going to the zoom square feature, which for my calculator is number 5. It now sets it up so that the paper is square graph paper and that these two lines do look perpendicular.